We are live here on Soulfire. My name is Christopher, the AstroMedium, and your host intuitive astrologer for tonight's weekly cosmic forecast. We're going to be taking a look at the astrological energies for the week of February 21st through the 27th. We're going to take a look at these energies day by day, and then later on in the video, we're going to take a look at them more in depth so we can isolate them, dissect them, and you can understand how to use these energies for your highest good and work with them and plan for them as well. So this upcoming week of the 21st through the 27th is not nearly as active as some of these previous weeks. We have experienced a lot of Aquarius energy this year. This year immediately got set off. Saturn made his square to Uranus exactly yesterday. It's the first of 3 exact hits. So we're sitting in a lot of tense energy. We're wanting to make changes to our lives, but we're feeling constricted in some way, and we're wanting stability, yet we're wanting change. So there's a lot of confusing energy coming in right now. And there is a lot of newness coming in. 2020 was out with the old, 2021 is in with the new. So there is a lot of changes happening to your life, but also to the world right now. Can't wait to see what happens in 2021 because there's going to be so many new technologies and scientific advancements that come about because Uranus is the star of this year. This is the year of Aquarius. So there's a lot of newness. But as of today, because today's February 18th, the sun has now entered Pisces, thus the blue, okay, my favorite sign, the 12th sign of the zodiac. So the sun is the first of all of these superstellium planets to leave Aquarius and start taking energy to a more higher dimensional place, okay? So we are going to feel this energy move away, and we've got new energies that are going to come in, okay? So let's start with Sunday, February 21st. The moon will be in Gemini for most of the day, and then at 10:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will enter Cancer. And on the moon's way to entering Cancer, she's going to encounter a few planets and have some conversations that day. The moon will make a 90-degree angle, which is a square to Neptune. That's tense. 90-degree angles are tense and challenging and conflicting. And to Neptune, there's some confusion that will come about from that. There's some hypersensitivity. There's some taking things the wrong way and not feeling things and reacting to things out of a place of reality, okay? But the moon is also going to make a trine to Venus. Trines are 120 degrees and they are powerful and positive. They're like golden platters that are just handed to you. So the moon making a trine to Venus, on top of that emotional sensitivity, there's some connection. There's some desires to relax. There's this desire to connect and be with others and your partners and your loved ones. And there's a feeling of joy. Venus is a benefic planet, so it's receiving a lot of support from the moon. And so with these energies that are conflicting, we've got several streams of energy coming in on Sunday that are going to cause some confusion and some mood swings, okay? So the first few days of this upcoming week are going to almost be like overcast days. It's like, well, it's not raining necessarily, or it's not storming. The sun might come out a couple times and then the clouds roll back in again. So it's just going to feel kind of murky emotionally, and there's a lot of ascension symptoms happening as well. Sunday, the moon is also going to make a quincunx to Pluto. So we might have some intense emotional reactions happening as well. And we're already going to feel agitated because we've got tons of ascension symptoms that are happening right now. And there are new ones coming in, especially to the head. The crown chakra is receiving a lot of upgrades and downloads and openings at this time. Your forehead is feeling heavy, your head is feeling, your neck is feeling stiff, and your head is feeling heavy. There's a lot of changes happening up here, intense swirling energies, but also sharp pains like electrical shocks that are shooting from the top here all the way to the back of the skull. This is coming from these downloads that are coming in, preparing for the 222 portal, which is going to happen on Monday, February 22nd. So let's get into it. The moon will be in Cancer all day on Monday, but the moon is going to make a square to Chiron. So on top of this portal energy opening, which is an influx of energy, which may cause some uncomfortable ascension symptoms to happen, and I will talk about more of those in depth later, we're going to have some triggers coming up, some emotional triggers, some things that are making us feel sensitive or weakened by that. But the moon is also receiving a supportive sextile, which is 60 degrees, not as powerful as a trine, but it's a potential in a supportive angle nonetheless from Uranus. So this Moon Uranus conversation that's going to happen is going to have you wanting to do something new and possibly break free of something that you're trying to heal as well, and heal it once and for all, and heal it in a new way. The Moon is also going to make a quincunx to Saturn, so you might feel a little bogged down by responsibility that day. So screw the bills, fuck your responsibilities, heal yourself, and pull in these energies. And I'll talk more about how you can pull in these 222 energies later on in the video. So let's go to Tuesday, February 23rd. Not only is this Rihanna's birthday, talking about Pisces, the Moon is making a trine to Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. Oh, this is going to be another confusing day, okay? So the Moon is also making a quincunx to Jupiter. So Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter are getting quincunxes from the Moon back to back like that. And this is going to be a very emotionally intense day, but it depends on what time of the day. So we're going to be going through some mood swings. It looks like the Moon is going to make a trine to Neptune earlier in the day. So we might be waking up from a lot of really interesting, inspiring dreams. There's a lot of creativity that can come from that. And the Moon is going to receive a supportive sextile from Mars. Well, that tells me we've got some passion going about our day. We've got a little push and pull. We're ready to get some stuff done. But towards the end of the day, the Moon is going to make an opposition, which is 180 degrees, to Pluto. Oppositions are also challenging or tense feeling, like a square, but in a different way. You're feeling pulled apart in that way. The Moon's opposition to Pluto is going to send us to the depth of our emotions. There's a lot of emotional intensity, extremism. Reactions are extreme and come from a very deep place. So we want to be mindful of how we're feeling that day. And if we get into some deeper or darker moods that day, just know this will pass, and you can meditate and pull in that Neptune energy that we're still sitting in at that time. And we'll still be sitting in some of those portal opening energies. So next week is not necessarily about getting shit done. It's more about connecting and having some fun. Okay, now let's move to Wednesday, February 24th. The Moon will be in Cancer for most of the morning, and then at 7:24 Eastern Standard Time, the Moon will enter Leo. Woo, baby, that's my Moon sign, so I can't wait for that. And when the Moon is in Leo, there's already a drama to things. So the emotions will be heightened, but Leo is sunny, he's warm. So there is some good moods that we're going to be in. However, the Moon is going to encounter Uranus and Saturn that day with some hard conversations. The Moon is going to make a square to Uranus, which is going to agitate us. There's going to be some impulsive reactions to things, reacting from a place of boredom, but also pushing against things instead of going with the flow. And then the Moon will make an opposition to Saturn. Moon opposite Saturn, I have Moon opposite Saturn in my natal chart. So when the Moon opposes Saturn, there is a loneliness, there's an isolation. There's also a tendency, I can do things on my own, I don't need people, but it comes with some low moods, some depression. So we want to be mindful that day that there might be some anxiety and some low moods that happen. However, on top of all of that, Mars, the planet of action, desire, how we get what we want, is making a beautiful 120-degree trine to Pluto. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, but power, okay? He powers up anything he's supporting. And Mars and Pluto both traditionally, Mars ruled Scorpio and Pluto rules Scorpio. So there's a lot of intensity with that, but it's very powerful, very positive, and we'll go more into the depth into that energy later. Now let's move to Thursday. Thursday, February 25th. This is the most energetically packed day of the week. We've got some major shifts happening. Not only is the Moon in Leo, more drama, more fire, more warmth, but it's making an opposition to Jupiter. So there's some excessive energy, some excessive reactions, wanting to do things in big ways. However, we've got some major energetic shifts that are happening that day that are for our benefit and that are going to feel really good. First, Venus is going to enter Pisces, and Venus loves being in Pisces. And if that wasn't enough, the Sun is making a supportive sextile to Uranus. So the Sun has now entered Pisces at this point and has left Aquarius and is now receiving a supportive sextile from the ruler of Aquarius. So we're taking things to new heights, and we're seeing ourselves in new ways, in more spiritual ways as well. We're seeing ourselves beyond the veil and the fractured bubble of the ego. And Jupiter, in the same day as all of that, is receiving a beautiful 120-degree trine from the north node. So Jupiter trine the north node is something I'm going to go into more depth about because it's something we need at this time, and it's beautiful, it's positive, and it's exciting, especially as we lead up to the end of the week when we have this major energy that we're all waiting for, Friday. Friday, the moon will be in Leo for about half of the day, and then about 12:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will move into Virgo. And this is really going to tick, tick, tick. It's going to start this full moon in Virgo energy that is already starting to build. You're going to feel the full moon energy about Wednesday is when you're going to feel that come in, and you're probably going to be distracted from all of that. The moon will have made a square to Uranus on Wednesday, so there's already going to be some anxiety and depression that might come in for you. So you might not be able to discern, but it's going to build, and the insomnia is going to build as well. These portal openings come with a lot of ascension symptoms, so you may not be able to discern where it's coming from, but the full moon is going to start really pulling you on Friday at 12:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when the moon enters Virgo. Now, once the moon enters Virgo, she's going to make a square to Mars. So, or excuse me, when the moon is in Leo, she's making a square to Mars. And oh gosh, and the moon is opposite Venus that day. I want to say something really good about Friday, but we've got the moon making a quincunx to Pluto. Okay, we started the week off with that. The moon is making a square to Mars, which is hot tempers, reactions, frustration, reacting from a place of anger, being aggressive. And the moon opposing Venus, this is kind of lazy energy. This is also feeling disconnected from things. And this is really going to see itself play out with an even bigger storm the next day. So let's move to Saturday, February 27th. We're going to send this week off with a bang, this huge energy. Now, this moon phase, the full moon in Virgo, is not as energetically packed or as turbulent as our previous moon phases we just experienced, the full moon in Leo and the new moon in Aquarius. However, it has some very specific implications. It has some healing energy. It has some energy that wants you to move through and break free of something, as the moon will be making a trine to Uranus that day, but the moon will be opposing Neptune and squaring the north node. So it's very confusing full moon, and we'll dive deep into that later. So let's talk about this 222 portal. What the hell is a 222 portal? And what the hell is a portal specifically? Well, I'm going to demystify this for people, because when I say portal, people tend to check out and they go, oh God, he's one of those star seeds who's talking about one of these stargates that are going to open in the sky and the rapture is going to come and get him. I am not talking about that. Although these portals are influxes of energies, and if you want to imagine it as a stargate, I absolutely recommend you do. But what this means is we, as a collective, have decided upon this 222 portal. And what I mean by that is the calendars, it's made up. Our Gregorian calendar doesn't even go with the natural rhythms of our seasons. It doesn't, the beginning of the year truly is March 21st when Aries begins. That's really the beginning of the year, and that's spring. But we don't go by that. But regardless, we create these portals through our own consciousness. And as we all agree upon this February 22nd thing, we are all agreeing that this number frequency will be activated. Even if it's not conscious, it's subconscious. Just like when you wake up before your alarm goes off, there is a subconscious in tune nature to our brain and to the rhythms and how we've set up our routines and things like this. So every year we receive this portal opening because we decided it, but we're also deciding it as a collective. So it's not just something we're making up, it is something we're creating. And it's a really good thing because we are creating a larger influx of energy that doesn't normally come in this way. And numbers all have their own frequency. So 2 is the number of balance. Okay, and 22, also being a derivative of 11, which is a master number, is a master number in and of itself. So we've got 222 at play here. And how many of you are seeing these repeating numbers? If you're like me, I'm seeing them everywhere. It's 444, 333, 1111, 222. Okay, they all have their own specific meaning. And if you go online, you're going to read so much shit about how it's an angel number and all this. And I absolutely believe that. And I believe our angels are communicating with us and they are getting our attention in specific ways. But I also believe it's our higher self. It's just our divine beingness coming into more connection and being aligned at that time. And our higher self is kind of like we're kind of like an avatar or a video game character. And the higher self is up there with the remote control. The soul is more of that, but the higher self is the remote control. The soul is the person playing it, if you will. But playing this video game and leaving little clues and gems and nuggets of goodness in the virtual reality and in the video game for you to go, oh yeah, I don't have to take this thing so seriously, or oh yeah, there's not so much to worry about. There is a next level I'm going to move to, and oh, this level has all these little ghouls and goblins in it that I'm supposed to be fighting off, because that's just what this level is. And if I do that, I'm going to move to the next level where there'll be some other challenge, something else. That's what I'm here to do. This is a game. Okay, so 222 portal is really about cooperation. And what I mean by that is we are all cooperative components for each other. We're all picking up the phone and calling someone, and we're being their synchronicity. They're texting us at 2:22 p.m. and not even realizing that they're part of our synchronicity. And we're all on some kind of level, consciously, unconsciously, subconsciously, acting within this web of reality. And so cooperation, meaning that you are coming into more cooperation, that you're saying, I'm going to go into a state of allowing. I'm going to let the universe not just take over, but I'm going to get into the driver's seat, and I'm going to understand my own manifestation abilities. So, oh Lord, I don't have time for this. This happened earlier, stop it. So they're ringing my ears right now. So somebody's wanting to communicate. So someone's probably watching this video and someone is wanting to communicate. She is a female, she is African American. I don't have time for this. Okay, so I told her if she wants to hang out, and after I finished my segment, you just got in my way, boo. Like, after I finish this segment and we talk about the stars, if she is still there and wants to communicate, I'll do that, okay? So, manifestation. So 222 portal is all about manifestation. It's creative abilities as well. You're probably going to feel, and we're already feeling this right now. It's February 18th, about to be February 19th. We're feeling this 222 portal kind of come in. These energies are starting to acclimate and pull in, especially the more of us that are talking about it and sharing this knowledge, the more the influx of light codes and energies are coming in. And creative abilities, and I'm not just talking about wanting to paint a picture or have some new business venture that you're wanting to create. This is more of your own innate ability to manifest in your reality. That's being boosted by this 222 portal as well. But it's also about expansion. Expansion not only of the mind, because Jupiter is at play this week as well, and he's expansion of the mind, but expansion of your multidimensional beingness, understanding that the universe is always expanding and getting larger, okay? From our linear perspective, it's getting bigger and larger. Every time you come to a new conclusion about something, the universe expands because you are part of it. Every single thing here belongs, and so you're going to work with that natural expansion and that desire to evolve and grow and become more and to ascend. You're going to become more in tune with that and receive more inspiration to get in alignment with that. Also, relationships are a huge factor in this 222. And I don't just mean your partner and your mom. I'm talking about the relationship to your higher self, your physical being, and your body, like your ego, the body, the higher self, all the different aspects of you coming into more cooperative relational harmony with that, because 222 is all about harmony and balance as well. You are probably going to feel a little bit more ease, a lot more positivity around this portal opening. Even though the moon's going to be squaring Chiron on the same day, you might actually have a lot of light codes coming in that are activating some shit in your DNA. There's some emotional triggers that are coming up, and there's some stuff that's coming up from your DNA that's ready to purge and be released, old programming, old beliefs. And you might think, oh my God, I do not feel well, or I feel depressed. It's okay. This portal opening may not be, oh my goodness, I'm just so inspired and I am so ready to create and I'm so ready to grab life by the horns. It may not feel like that. It may come in the form of low energy, fatigue, insomnia, extreme head pressure and headaches, lots of swirling energy in your throat. This is already happening. Aches and pains in the body, and even more digestive upsets. I'm just sorry to say, but that's receiving a lot of upgrades at this time. So what you want to do with this 222 portal is meditate, get some fresh air, do something that is cooperative. Follow during the day, follow your natural intuition and your instinct on where to go next. If it's to sit in bed all day, do it. Do not feel bad about that. You don't have to be anywhere and you don't have to get anything done. There are so many new energies coming in. We need to pull them in. And sometimes the best way to pull them in is to relax and just let loose and allow your body to do what it needs to do. Okay? Now, with that being said, you have such a focus this year on where you're going to go next, okay? You're probably thinking, okay, I've got all these new energies coming in. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to be enlightened. I'm ready to be the Buddha and get my life on track. Well, it's not really like that. Okay, you do have a long-term path, and that's because Saturn is squaring Uranus. Saturn wants you to take all this Uranus energy, which is these new realizations you're coming to, these new ideas, these new genius insights, okay? These changes, these sudden changes that you're wanting to make to your life, and he's saying, let's slow this shit down. Let's look at the long term. That 1 mile road you're looking at, that's not going to teach you shit. Let's send you down on this 20-mile road, and why don't you get started on that now? See yourself go in the long term. Not only are you going to have some sick calf muscles by the time you get to the end of that 20-mile road, you are going to bump up against and meet so many different things and experiences that allow you to have more resilience. So when you get to that thing that you're moving to, that Uranus has brought you to, this new awareness, you're actually more of a vibrational match when you get there, and you're more sturdy and stable, and your desire for it is more crystallized. It is more set, it's more solid. So it's not this, I think I want this. It's a sure deal, and Saturn's going to make sure of that, because there's a lot of shit you're desiring right now that you're not going to want in the long term. And we're also, Saturn is saying, okay, you're focused on your future self. We're all talking about the future right now with all this Aquarius and Uranus energy. Well, why don't you think about your future self? And why don't you think about your future self from 10 years from now, not just next month? Okay, so to get started on this path, though, we don't need to make these huge changes that disrupt our entire life and our routines and our stability, because this Saturn square Uranus energy has you wanting something earth-shattering to happen, yet you're wanting more stability, solid ground, and security. So there's some confusing energy around the astrological forces that are happening this year, because that is the main theme of this year, is Saturn square Uranus. But what we're urging you to do astrologically is we're saying, okay, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And you are ready, and you're going to feel even more ready as Mars makes his trine to Pluto. So when Mars gets stimulated by Pluto like that, we have more passion, we have more drive. Pluto is sexuality and Mars is sex. So there's an intensity to our sexuality and our sex drive. It's higher sex drive. So there's going to be lots of good fucking going on. But it doesn't just have to show up as sex. That can be showing up as resilience and going deeper into things. Pluto takes you deeper into it. Mars just wants to act and move. Pluto is like, let's move with intention. Let's move and go deeply. While we're moving on this path, let's absorb more information. Let's not stop and smell the roses necessarily. Let's take the roses with us. Let's empower ourselves by the fact that we've got to walk this no matter what, and we have what it takes to do that. Mars is how we get what we want, how we physicalize things. It's very masculine energy. But Pluto, that is so powerful. It can be dark. There's a lot of dark aspects to Pluto energy, but it's very transformative. So the way that we're doing things has changed now that Mars has entered Taurus. And before he goes into Gemini, we are really being asked to empower ourselves and take a chance and just start moving without a lot of fear. Pluto can bring up a lot of deep psychological fears for us, especially from our unconscious, things that are coming from other times and places, karmic debts being paid off and soul contracts. But there's nothing to fear, and you have been to the deep dark depths already, and you can do this. Do you understand that you have things you want to accomplish, and you will get there if you are patient and if you are thinking about the long term? But you've got to start now. And I'm giving you the opportunity, Pluto and Mars are saying, to move with power and to move with resilience. And you're being supported at this time. Don't be afraid that you're not just some clump of matter bouncing around through time and space, maybe getting it wrong, maybe getting it right. There is an intention. There is a soul direction. There is a focus and a line, a thread that is pulling your soul. And there was an intention that you had when you came here. And that is now going to be expanded as Jupiter is going to trine the North Node. So this beautiful conversation that we'll have the next day, right after Mars is trine to Pluto, Jupiter's going to expand things. Jupiter, he not only expands, but he brings opportunities. He's a benefic planet. He's all about positivity, optimism, the way you look at your life and framing your life. He wants to bring opportunities to you. He is all about you getting what you want. He's about wealth as well and abundance. And so Jupiter making this trine to the North Node, this energy, we're already feeling that now, and we're already starting to see that play out now. So how is this showing up for you? Jupiter is bringing a lot of people to us, bringing more than that. He's bringing resources as well, new opportunities for things, but he's also bringing people and cooperative components, okay? Cooperative people that are coming that also have a shared mission or a shared view of where you're wanting to go. You all have similar soul contracts. You're also meeting people at this time that seem familiar. You are noticing that they have the same ideas for their lives and they're wanting to go to the same place, and they have things that you want. You're not jealous of them. They're inspiring you with this Jupiter's trine North Node energy. There's an inspiration, but there's also this opportunity to get more clear and to move further along and to feel much more in alignment with your purpose than you have felt in the past year. Okay, we're already feeling this energy build, but it will climax on Thursday, the day after Mars is trine to Pluto. So you've got this beautiful intensity of action, moving with intention, and then all these new things that are coming into your consciousness, but then Jupiter allowing you to become more soul integrated than you have been in a long time. Now, another amazing shift that's going to happen that day is Venus's ingress into Pisces. Oh, I can't wait for this. Pisces is my favorite sign. The sun has now entered Pisces at this point. This is February 25th. The sun is the first to leave this superstellium Aquarius phenomena that happened, this great event, and now Venus is going to follow suit, and she's going to enter Pisces, and she loves being in Pisces, okay? Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So Venus is all about how you take pleasure in things, how you enjoy things, how you see things, see the beauty in things. Yes, Venus has a lot to do with how you are in a relationship and how you show love and receive love, but she is much more than that. She is all about how you value things. So she wants you to value yourself differently. And Venus in Aquarius, Venus doesn't necessarily do so well in Aquarius. And I say that because Aquarius is so independent, so forward thinking, so in its head and in its mind. Venus wants to be in the body taking pleasure in things. That's that Taurus energy, and wants to see beauty in things. Science is so analytical. It is beautiful in and of itself, but it's not visually and aesthetically pleasing. That's what Venus wants. And Venus is all about art and music and theater and something creative happening that it can be enjoyed and taken pleasure from. So now she's going to exit this very intellectual, rebellious energy, because she's not able to connect with people the way she wants to when she's in Aquarius. Now she's going to connect to them on the deepest level, okay? Venus in Scorpio is very deep as well, but not nearly as melding and melting together as Venus in Pisces can be. Now, Venus loves being in Pisces because she gets to become one with her partners. She gets to relate to things and merge her energy field with the energy field of that art. And Pisces is so creative. Pisces dies for music. Pisces lives in music. Pisces wants to ride the sound wave of that song. Pisces wants to receive from higher inspired places, from spirits, from higher self, channel these messages in. Prince had a moon sign in Pisces. Janae Aiko has a ton of Pisces in her chart. There are a lot of musicians. Kurt Cobain was sun sign in Pisces. Rihanna's sun sign in Pisces. Pisces is all about music, but not necessarily music to be enjoyed, music to escape through. Okay, so Venus gets to escape. Venus already loves to take pleasure in things. So when Venus enters Pisces, there might be this tendency to eat to escape or to enjoy music to escape. That's okay. But also melding with our partners, really feeling one with them and going to deeper places and having so much more empathy. Our heart is more open and more generous. We are feeling what other people are feeling, and we want everyone to feel okay at that time. Venus is more empathetic, and she's more of an empath now that she is going to go into Pisces, because of course I can feel what you're feeling. I have become a part of you now. Aquarius is like, fuck that. I am my own person. I'm an independent. I'm going to do my own thing on my own time. I'll see you later. We'll pick up where we left off. Pisces is saying, it's okay. You go and do you. I'll even let you walk all over me. I just love you so much, and I want you to feel good, because when you feel good, I feel good. Pisces dissolves the boundary of the ego, but also of the heart. So the heart comes together in this beautiful melding of unconditional love. Now, on the same day, the sun will be receiving a supportive sextile from Uranus, and this is important because the sun has now entered Pisces, and the sun was in Aquarius, part of that superstellium for that entire time, but now the sun has entered Pisces, and Pisces takes that Aquarius, that futuristic energy, and says, I don't care about the future. Where I'm going, to the astral plane, to the world of dreams and illusions and the afterlife and the non-physical realms, the spirit realm, there is no time. There is no future, because it's all happening at once. So we are seeing ourselves a little bit differently during Pisces season. We're taking this technological science and this futuristic energy, and we're taking it to a whole, transcending those limitations and going to a whole other dimension. But the sun is then going to receive a sextile from Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius. So we're going to be taking things to new heights in new, innovative ways. So Uranus, Sun in Pisces, sextile Uranus, there's a lot of intuition that will be sparked. A lot of psychic abilities will be enhanced. This is a great time to get really in tune. You're going to feel more in tune with your soul purpose. Venus will have entered Pisces, and now you're more trusting yourself. You're also seeing yourself in new ways. You're breaking free of old ego patterns and ways you looked at yourself. And this is important, because we're leading up to an energy at the end of the week that you are going to take all of these experiences into. And that is when the moon in Virgo opposes the sun in Pisces, and we experience the full moon in Virgo. This is going to be agitating. It's not going to feel very nice, but it is an opportunity for you to manifest new routines, new ways of doing things, and new self-love and self-care. So let's dive into this full moon in Virgo energy. Virgo, she is the sixth sign. She rules the sixth house. So Virgo is very concerned with how you take care of your body, how the workings of your body, your nervous system will be agitated by this full moon in Virgo. Full moons already will send us into reactivity, anxiety, restlessness, insomnia. And I know some of you are going, fuck, when is this going to be over with? Well, you just need to trust the process and use the energy so they don't use you, okay? And with this full moon in Virgo, you're being asked to reevaluate your current day-to-day routines and how you structured your life. How are you taking care of your body? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough vitamins and minerals? Are you eating to support these new energetic frequencies that are coming in? Are you seeing yourself and being proud of yourself for your accomplishments and the things that you've done? Virgo, she's very critical of herself. She's critical of others, but it's because she's critical of herself. A lot of times Virgo takes her criticism out on others because she's got such an eye for detail. She feels she's helping you when actually she's just trying to get the attention off of herself sometimes. The moon will also be making an opposition to Neptune that day, and Neptune can cloud us with judgment. It can send us to the world of fantasy, and beautiful inspiration and downloads of new information can come in with Neptune, but an opposition can be difficult. It can cause hypersensitivity. If the moon being full was not already enough, there's some even more hypersensitivity with this opposition to Neptune, and not feeling from a place of groundedness. This is a very, you're going to be pulled in several directions with this full moon. Virgo is very earth oriented. She's focused here in the third dimensional reality, but Neptune's going to pull you out of that, and you're not going to feel in tune and in touch so much with your body. There might be some out of body stuff coming in. So I suggest doing a lot of grounding work that day. Also, Virgo is the sign of the healer. She is ruled by Mercury, so she's very much in her head, and she operates in the nervous system, and she's an overthinker. So you might have a lot of worthiness issues come up. You might have a lot of self-judgment come up, and these things are there to be healed and worked through and analyzed as well. But you're not going to be able to really acclimate and assimilate that so much at that time. So that's why go out in nature, sit by a tree, do some type of grounding meditation, so that as these energies are coming in and these other energies, these self-deprecating energies, these energies that are not representative of self-love are moving their way out. Okay, I will have a full moon in Virgo ritual on my Instagram at the.astromedium for you to use these energies, like I said, so they don't use you. And a ritual really helps you to focus your energy, move the energies out, and get something out of it for your highest good. Now, also the moon's going to make a square to the north node that day. So you might not feel like you're where you're supposed to be, although you are receiving lots of new things coming in, new realizations, new people are coming your way. You're meeting new people that feel very familiar to you because there's a lot of soulmates that are coming our way. But that day's going to feel quite confusing. Now, on top of all of that, you have this opportunity not only to evaluate, do I want to take it easy, or do I want to restructure things? Do I want to relax, or do I want to get to work and make something happen because I'm not where I'm supposed to be? Well, you have an opportunity to break free. The moon is going to make a trine to Uranus that day. So that's going to stimulate some psychic abilities even more so. And we'll still be sitting in that sun sextile Uranus energy at that time. But this full moon in Virgo is all about loving yourself on a deeper level, loving yourself enough to make some new routines. Full moons are about manifestation. So what are we trying to manifest? We're actually trying to manifest new thought spirals, affirmations, things that move in the direction of what we want rather than thought spirals of self-deprecation and judgment and saying we're not good enough. This worthiness is a huge theme with the full moon in Virgo energy, and Uranus is supporting you in breaking free of that, doing something new. You've been saying you wanted to start that new diet. You've been saying that you shouldn't eat that bread anymore. You've been saying you should get more sleep and that you should go to bed at midnight and not 4 in the morning, but you're not doing it. So this moon gives you an opportunity, a starting place that says, look, I'm ready to do it now. I'm putting it out in the universe now. I love myself enough to do these things. These routines, these ways I'm going to structure my life are not only more beneficial to my body and my emotional self as well, but they're also benefiting me in the long term. I'm thinking about myself in the long term. Virgo, she thinks about the long term. She's very grounded. She's similar to Capricorn in that way. It's logical to think about the long term. Now, she can get off on these spirals and get worried and can get off track pretty easily, especially when she's too busy focused on the details and trying to reorganize something instead of seeing the big picture. She's like Gemini that way, but she also has this earthy energy that is very much like Capricorn. And so there's this focus on the long term that you can get from this. And this is really going to help activate this Saturn square Uranus energy for you. So you can go forward on your path. You've got more resilience now. You're looking more deeply into things. You're ready to do things differently. You've got new goals, new dreams that you're moving toward. You have new realizations of yourself that you're feeling like, I can do this. I am no longer bound by this type of trauma or this type of limiting belief. And now I can move forward and I can actually get there even faster because I have routines that are keeping my vitality, my energy, my vital energy reserves up to speed and consistent so that I'm never getting burned out. I'm never getting too anxious because I'm not getting enough sleep, or I'm not replenishing myself in certain ways. And you might find yourself in a diet routine or a workout routine or a new daily focus or practice like meditation or yoga that you stick to more than normal. Because this energy is like allowing you, it's like glue. It's saying, hey, here's a big glob of glue during this full moon. Throw whatever you want in there and it will harden, and it will be actually harder to break out of those new routines than it was to make them. So there's a lot of energy in the upcoming week. It's not as turbulent as it has been, but we've got new ascension symptoms that are coming our way. So we want to be mindful. You do not have brain cancer. You do not have throat cancer. You don't have thyroid issues. You are ascending. Now, I can't speak for everyone. I'm speaking to you who knows that you're on this process and you are in alignment with this and this is resonating with you. You should absolutely see a doctor. I did. I saw several when all this was happening to me and during my awakening. And my Kundalini awakening, I went to see an optometrist. I got my blood work done. I went and had a brain scan. I did a bunch of stuff because I was scared and I didn't know what was happening. But I'm assuring you, go do it. When they don't find anything, come back and see me, boo-boo, okay? So if you are not already following me on Instagram and TikTok, you absolutely should at the.astromedium, ASTRO medium. Also, I am the in-house intuitive astrologer for Eclipse over Roswell here in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you don't live in the Atlanta area, that's okay. You can book readings with me on my website, www.christophermedium.com. But I teach astrology at Eclipse over Roswell every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for all you star people out there that are really interested in astrology and really interested in learning more about it, or you're new to astrology altogether and you want a starting place, come join me as we take astrology to new heights. And I teach astrology from a scientific perspective and from a spiritual perspective as well. So I can teach you how to work with these energies, and we'll go through the basics, and I cater my classes to the class. So again, if you want to learn more about astrology, you can go to visiteclipse.as.me/astro to pre-register for those classes, and we do them every week. They're open to the public. It is not a 6-week course, so it's different topics every class. Sometimes we talk about the moon energy that's happening at that time. Sometimes we talk about the 12 houses. Each class will have a different topic. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that this energy is helpful to you. I hope you can get the most out of it. And I hope that this is resonating with you and that you feel more empowered to get the most out of this year and the most out of your life, okay? I will see you all next week here on Soulfire at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another weekly cosmic forecast. Thank you and have a good night.